What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nathan, and on this planet we send it. And what we're going to be getting in today, well, first I need to introduce to you Ragnarok. Ragnarok is now the name of my LJ, and I decided to go with Ragnarok because I wanted to play just a little bit of homage to my Norwegian roots. So that's why I'm going with Ragnarok. I know it's not 100% original, but that's what I wanted to go to. As soon as I saw that, I knew it was going to be the name of my Jeep. But what we are going to be getting into this video is my cousins and I, we headed out to Hammertown, California in Johnson Valley where they do King of the Hammers. We headed out there on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and we went out there just to kind of play around. So what we're going to kind of break this video up is into three parts. First, we're going to be doing, we're going to kind of be, as soon as we get unpacked and get our tents broken down and everything, well, correction, get them set up, we're going to go ahead and be heading out to exploring the area. And then after that evening, we're going to go ahead and show you some of the carnage that takes place out in Johnson Valley. If you haven't seen that, you're about to be in for a treat. And then after that, for phase 3 of this video, we're going to be doing my cousins found a rock garden that, is pretty challenging. It kind of goes from nice and easy to pretty intense, to where definitely not a stock Jeep nor a stock Rubicon would be able to get through this. At least it would not be easy. All right, I got a plan in place. Risks are acceptable. Let's go ahead and send it. We headed out to the Hammers originally to participate in GenRight's turkey run, but when we arrived, the GenRight group had already left on a run. In fact, although we spoke to a few people at the GenRight camp, we never really got a chance to meet up with the main group to see the various rigs, which was my original purpose because I wanted to see an LJ Tracer build, but oh well, maybe next time. We still ended up having a lot of fun though. Coming out to the Hammers for the first time to go wheeling isn't actually as intuitive as one may think. It is a large area, so bottom line, you need a map to know where the various obstacles are. My cousin ended up finding a good one on day 2, so we'll go ahead and showcase that as we went through it on the second half of this video. But in the evening time, it's actually easier to see where the obstacles are because you can see where everyone is grouping up at. So when I get to the part showing you the carnage, you'll get to see that too. So we'll go ahead and do a short music montage of exploring the Hammers and attempting to find obstacles. But like I said, we didn't actually find any until the next day. But we did find some and ended up having a fun day on day 1. It really was beautiful over at the Hammers that day. And after we went through that little easy obstacle, we had a quick huddle and decided what we wanted to do next. We kind of spotted an area where we wanted to go and explore. So when we got over there, we could see a lot of people, some people actually came up and started going up this little sand dune. And so we were just kind of stopping and watching them for a little bit. And then while we were talking, my cousin, who has a JL, a 2.0 turbo, was deciding, you know what, I think I can try that. And he was a little unsure about himself because that Bronco you saw there just almost had gotten stuck. But he figured he could go ahead and try it. So what we'll go ahead and do is I'll show you two clips. One from showing him go up the hill from down where I'm currently standing. And then the next clip will be with me riding with the GoPro. And you can really get a good idea on the stabilization of a GoPro on how well they do for these shots. Send it. Nice.
Oh, you sound really good.
So after we got back to camp, we made some dinner and we sat around the campfire for a little bit. You can actually see my cousin almost light himself on fire by pouring some gas on here in a second. But once we were done with camp, we decided to go out and wanted to see what people were up to and see what kind of carnage was going on out there in the Hammertown area. So we went out to, started off at Back Door, and then we headed on over to, I believe it's a Chocolate Thunder or maybe Chocolate Mountain. So just know that people were playing their music, so I'm going to have to be a little bit creative with the editing, but you'll get a full idea of the Hammer experience. It is a freezing morning here in Johnson Valley, but it is beautiful, especially when it's quiet, which is not really what happens in the middle of the night until sometime very late. None of us had actually really gotten that much sleep that previous night because of how cold it had gotten. The noise really wasn't that bad. We were kind of at the edge of it, but the cold is really what affected us the most. As a matter of fact, I learned that my 0-degree rated sleeping bag, with no socks on, shorts, and a t-shirt, my feet start getting cold once it gets below 30 degrees. So lesson learned, on how to prepare a little bit more. But on the next clip, you're about to see how tired I was as I talk about the next obstacle that we'll be attempting. Hey, good morning. Cousin is with me, cousin Ryan. Got Eric following behind me in his Jeep. We found a little rock garden this morning. I'll throw in some photos of what it looked like, the beautiful sunrise here in Johnson Valley. We are heading, like I said, we're heading to this rock garden, and it looks like it's gonna be pretty cool. We had a sport with us. It looks like it's probably gonna be a little bit too much for the no lockers and, to be honest, the clearance. So we're heading out to go give this a try. And yeah, if you should have seen hopefully the videos that I took last night from all the craziness that was happening came out well for me to be able to show you. If not, just know that we saw kind of like a buggy truck flip over on its back, and then everything else. We went out and saw the buggies climbing. What was that? Chocolate Thunder? Chocolate Mountain. Chocolate Mountain. There we go. But all right, so we're gonna head on over here to the rock garden. We're gonna give it a go. All right, let's send it. I actually took these drone shots after we had completed the trail. We were the first ones on the trail, and you can see by the time we finished, there was quite a few people getting ready to come on up. But if I were to kind of compare this short trail to the Rubicon, it starts off pretty easy, and then you get to one section to where it's kind of like the Rubicon gatekeeper, but then all of a sudden, as soon as you get past that, it's almost like you're at Little Slough, so it gets to be some pretty big boulders. So it starts off at probably like a 2 or a 3 difficulty, jumps to a 5 or a 6, and then for a short period of time, a 7 or an 8. But then after that, it's pretty easy and just a scenic, easy route on the way out. And I know that levels can be a little ambiguous, so I would say front and rear lockers were required. There was a couple of times I had to ask my cousin if he had his front lockers on to make it easier on him, but he found that with the JL, he needed to turn them off occasionally to make some turns. And then also I would recommend definitely some good skid plates and rock rails, and because you will use them. At least for me on my 35s, I use mine, and my cousin on his 37s, he ended up using his too. Now we're getting into the area that's a little bit more difficult. Like I said, it kind of starts off like the Rubicon Gatekeeper. I'm going to go ahead and just let you show the raw audio. This was where it was starting to get a little bit more intense. So we're going to kind of finish up this trail with me going through this first part, then my cousin will follow. I'll go through the next part, my cousin will follow, and then we'll finish up the trail.
Oh, you're on your drive shaft. So go that way more. Straighten out. There you go. Now turn.
So what you saw me doing there in that clip was I went ahead and got to a flat area parking spot just before the next obstacle. My cousin's up now in blackout, and my other cousin there to the lower left, he's standing just in front of the first obstacle. So now we're going to go ahead and see what a JL on 37 does as we go through this first part.
Passenger.
As you come forward. Hydro assist when you get that will help too. Diff. What happened?
He's on the rock already. Back up.
Climbing. You're climbing now on the drive.
That's a good line now.
Keep it driver. There you go. Hold up, Eric. Eric, are your front lockers on?
Right to turn.
You're gonna need them on right now. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. You're gonna wanna come straight. Hold that. You look good back there, Ryan? He's good to come straight from here. Yeah, I think the rock is, I think the tire is going to pivot around it. You ready? There you go. All right. Now turn driver. Yep, come on. You're climbing, you're climbing, you're climbing, you're climbing, you're climbing. Keep coming. Hold driver, hold driver. Now passenger, straighten up. Now go straight. Keep going straight. Up, hold up.
Back up.
Back up just a little bit.
All right, turn driver, full driver. Go forward.
As you come up that rock, go hard driver.
Keep on going hard driver.
Come up this rock, yep. You're gonna come down, probably get a little, nope, you may not even touch your rails. All right. We decided we would go ahead and just take this bypass instead. And although it's the bypass, you can see how my short 35-inch tires was giving me a little bit of problems here. We ended up putting down a couple of rocks and I was able to make it through. But yeah, this was definitely, the only challenging part about this was at the end, it became pretty off camber.
You want to put a rock there?
Maybe. Seems like it's just enough to keep me from climbing over it. Try a little bit. Yeah, before I pop a tire.
Yeah.
All right, he cleared front diff.
Now turn that way. There you go. Not all the way, just straight.
You're holding straight now. Don't turn the wheel anymore until Ryan tells you.
All right, hold on.
Coming up on rear. Climbing. You're gonna be. There you go. All right, do it again. I started to stumble as you were doing that. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.